Alright, hey guys.
Hi everybody!
Book review time. Now, Stephanie and I have been doing a buddy book reading, so we've been picking books approximately the same length and trying to read them at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So far, okay.
Okay. He reads a lot faster than I read.
And I have nothing to do with my life right now, so...
And I'm really busy.
It doesn't work out so well.
No.
But we're giving it our best shot. So, the reviews today are The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman and The Giver, which I talked about a little bit in my December to be read, September through November wrap-up.
And I talked about it in I talked about The Giver in my November wrap-up.
Mm-hmm.
But
my first review is going to be on this one, because I read this one first, and Stevie will do The Giver, because she read that one first, and then we'll flip-flop with our opinions. We'll probably be cutting in and out with comments, so we might not have to switch at the end of the video, because I might say our piece between the two of us. But anyway, nonetheless.
that's our plan.
That's the plan.
Alright. Okay.
Alright, so The Ocean at the End of the Lane is now one of my favorites. And I think I would give it 5 stars. Stephanie doesn't care so much for it. But to me, I could not. Okay, so I started reading it, and I had it read in, 2 days?
2 days.
But the one day was Sunday, so that was quite interrupted with services. I had this book read, I think a total, I don't even really know. I was so captured by...
He read it really fast. When he gave it to me, I'm like, I haven't even gotten to page 1.
Yeah, I'm gonna geek if I talk too much about it. And there's nothing that I didn't like about it. There really was not. I already read you guys my favorite quote from it, page 112. I have that memorized in my wrap-up video. But to me, this is an amazingly beautiful story of childhood and how the world is seen from a child's perspective. How you struggle with your daily life, retreating to imagination and other worlds to try to sort out the one that you're living in, and it's just a beautiful melding of the real world and imagination, I guess I would say. I think it's a good picture of how sometimes life looks from the child's perspective, and then when you grow up and you look back on your childhood perspective, you realize that that was probably closer to reality than your current perspective on things.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a good book to revisit, because a lot of times it's easy to forget what it was like to be a kid, and I think this book really kind of brings that out. So I mean, the language in here, beautiful, the writing. I mean, Neil Gaiman, that's basically all I have to say about the writing. The writing is superb. Even if you don't like the story, it's so amazing.
I do have to give him perks on the writing. The writing was very good. I just don't like that type of story. So nothing on how it's written. The writing is exquisite, but
superb.
It's just I didn't like this story.
Which, hey, to each his own. No problems. But yes, I am looking forward to reading more Neil Gaiman. I didn't know he existed, but now that I do,
I own a couple of his books.
I will be visiting those books, hopefully very soon.
To not give really away any spoilers, I can't really say what I want to say because I didn't like the ending.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ending of the book, and you would have to read it.
I think the ending fits well with what I was talking about.
It does fit
because
very well.
He goes from being it's a book of flashbacks, and he goes from being a child to being an adult again, and you forget, like I said, what it was like to be a child. And I really think it's just a great metaphorical story.
And and of course both of these books that we read were metaphorical, and I enjoyed this one much more. I will never read that one again.
I could read this one 1,000 times, actually.
Yeah. But like I said, as far as the writing goes, it was beautiful writing, but I just don't like that type of a story.
Our opinions differ on books all the time. Yeah. So, I mean, but the one thing that I was going to say, who gets away without naming their main character?
Oh my goodness.
He doesn't have a name.
He has no name.
It's first person, and he never names himself.
He's called Brother.
They don't ever call him by his name.
I didn't realize that.
He doesn't have a name.
Whoa.
Neil Gaiman. Mind-blowing author. I didn't even notice this until I started thinking about it, and I'm like, wait.
It's literally,
Well,
it's
what's
almost
the main
like...
character's name?
It's almost like talking from your perspective, then.
Yes. And you get so engrossed in the story itself, you don't even pay attention. You're almost absorbed into it, like you are this person, and it affects you that much.
Oh,
like the
yes.
things that happen to him, it rips you apart.
I had a
meltdown.
I had a meltdown after this book. I'm like,
it's a good thing she owns Skyrim and she can kill fictional things.
Yeah, I had to play like about 2 hours of Skyrim afterwards, and I'm like, I feel better now. I just destroyed a bunch of orcs.
I killed them.
The next book that we buddy read was The Giver by Lewis Lowry. As far as what I think of the book, the writing, again, was very, very good. Right. It was a utopia type of a book, where everything, and I know this was made into a movie, but I would have to say...
It was?
Yes, it is.
Learn something new every day.
Yes. It was made into a movie, which I
The
think,
movie probably sucks, in all honesty.
I really wanted to read the book before I read the movie.
We'll have to watch the movie, and we'll give you guys an opinion on it.
Definitely.
It'll probably be bad.
Probably be bad. But as far as the storyline itself, without trying to give away any spoilers, which most of what I'm going to say is written on the back, it's about a world that it's a utopia, so everything is the same. All the people are the same, everything. It's perfect. It's a perfect world.
Seemingly perfect.
And it's just some things were mind-blowing. I don't cry for books, really, but this one almost made me cry.
No.
Made you cry.
It didn't almost make me. I was there. There were tears. No, I wasn't weeping about it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had to set it down and walk away at a certain part.
I'm not going to say that out loud, but you guys just need to read this book.
Yeah.
And I talked about, the next one is called Gathering Blue.
I mean, I actually even like the ending of this book, but as far as stories go, I probably won't reread this one. But I did like the writing style.
Not right away, anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I might be able to revisit it in a couple years.
Maybe.
Honestly.
Like I said, the writing style is very good. I like the characters in it. The characters were laid out very well. The ending was good as far as ending goes. It's just I wasn't a fan. It was a different ending. I had to look it up and what happened to him, because, like, again, trying not to give away any spoilers.
You really had to think about it. Like, at the ending, you're like, okay, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously this entire book was crafted. Oh, no, I'm not going to remember the name of it. Cloud Atlas.
Yeah, Cloud Atlas, yeah.
If you've watched that movie, think kind of along those lines, because it's not written so much for the story itself, I don't think, but for the message contained within it.
Yeah.
And I think you really have to examine that when you look at the ending of the book. That's what I had to do anyway to make sense of it.
So, overall, I liked it. I gave it, I think, a 4 out of 5 star rating on Goodreads.
It's not my favorite, but it's a favorite.
Yeah. But I
I have to rate it on Goodreads.
I won't reread it. No, I won't. But this will be it will be in my collection. I'll keep it for a while. Sure. Yeah. So. And then I'm definitely gonna have to read the companion novels too.
Yeah.
So
for sure. What I really like about Lois Lowry's writing is she was able to construct the world for you in little words.
Yeah. I mean, as you can see, it's not a big book.
Right.
And you knew exactly what was going on.
That's something that I really appreciate about authors is if they use precise enough language and give you enough material that your mind can fill in the blanks about what it looks like and how it's structured. I think that's actually really fantastic.
Yeah, I'm trying to do it.
And one thing, I might have already said this in my wrap-up video, but one thing I really like about it is an intertwined utopia and dystopia. And you find that out later in the book, and I like how she presents it as everything is perfect. And then by the end of the book, you realize how much they're really lacking.
Yes.
And it makes you realize that was good. So, good.
So that is what we thought about these 2 books. We
should do more joint reviews. I feel like we're more fluid, and it makes more sense.
Yeah. having two different opinions. So we are reading currently The Girl of Fire and Thorns and The Burning Sky.
Yeah, I give.
So we will be giving you our opinions on those two books later on. And until next time.
She's really gonna like The Burning Sky, I'm just saying. You will.
Oh. That kind of makes me excited.
Mm-hmm. So, peace.
Bye.